So, I have a confession to make. I had a little accident in the kitchen. So, you guys know how I usually, oh, thank you. I was going to say, go to the knife safety. Okay. I was here Thursday by myself. I'd come in early to make the soup. Thank you, Steve. And for Common Ground, because we always get together, y'all know. And I'm making the soup, and I'm in a hurry, and I'm distracted, and I'm all that stuff. I wasn't paying attention. My mind was not on the task. I was see, we've got a lot going on right now, and I was just thinking about I was like one step ahead, thinking about what I needed to do. I didn't tuck my fingers, and I sliced the tip of my finger off. I did it royally, not to gross anybody out. So we're going to go over knife safety again today, not just for y'all, but for myself. So, no, I sanitized everything. I had to stop that was part of the frustration, is I had to stop, sanitize my workspace, sanitize the tools I was using. Fortunately, it was only one potato. I just put the potatoes in the pot, and I'd started on one potato, and so I only lost the one potato. So I sanitized my board and my knives, the whole 9 yards. So that took, 15 minutes to re-sanitize everything. So, and then wrap up and glove up and all that stuff. So it's better to follow the rules than to have to go through that kind of experience. So, object lesson, make sure your knife always stays on the cutting board. Never put a knife in a sink full of water. Never try to catch a falling knife. Keep your mind on the task. Tasha. Choose the right knife for the job. Always tuck your fingers, and always cut away from your body. So, tucking your fingers is key. If I had tucked my finger, it wouldn't have happened. So, anyway, so I thought you guys might like that little object lesson. But today, I'm so excited. This recipe is a simple recipe. But you're going to learn how to make bechamel. And bechamel is called the mother sauce because you can take that bechamel and turn it into so many different things. So how many of you have made a bechamel before? Okay, good. So excellent. So this is such an easy thing to do, and it's such a good thing to know how to do. And so that's why we're going to learn how to do it today, or we're going to relearn how to do it today. And with this recipe, you can turn this into so many different things. We're learning a method here. The recipe is good. It's a really good recipe, actually. But it's a way to then say, okay, instead of broccoli, what if I used cauliflower? Or instead of cauliflower or broccoli, what if I sauteed some onions and some peppers and some black beans over here, added a little, some of the Mexican spices that we learned last week, and we add that with the bechamel, and then use cheddar cheese, So you can transform this into all different types of recipes just by switching out the ingredients, or even the pasta. So learning how to make a white sauce is really important. A white sauce is the sauce that you use to make lasagna. So it's the base for macaroni cheese, the really creamy macaroni cheese you guys had Thursday night. This is the recipe. I just used a different cheese and a little bit more of it. But that's, so it's a good thing to know. So anyway, what we're going to do to start is we're going to boil our pasta. That's the first thing we're going to do. But before we do that, you'll notice that there's salt in your pot. Whenever you boil pasta, you always want to flavor it. And so you want to salt your water. You want it to kind of taste like the sea. You want it to be pretty salty, because otherwise you don't have another opportunity really to flavor the pasta as it cooks. So that's the first thing, is to always salt your pasta water. But before we do that, let's look at our ingredients. We have 280 grams of penne. We have 280 grams of broccoli. Actually, you have a little bit more because I know that there's going to be some waste. So you're starting with a little bit more, and then you'll end up with about 280 grams of broccoli. You have 25 grams of butter, 25 grams of plain flour, 300 mils of milk. You're going to add a tablespoon of whole grain mustard. There's one jar on the table right there. There's a jar over there. You have 140 grams of cheddar, and then you have a teaspoon of salt in a little ramekin. So does everybody have all of their ingredients? Perfect. So essentially, we're going to cook our pasta, but what we're going to do is we're going to put our water in the pot first, and we're going to turn our hobs on, and as that water is coming up to a boil, we're going to then chop our broccoli into bite-sized pieces. We've talked in the past about the stem of the broccoli, and so what I'd like to just show you real quick is this is my favorite part of the broccoli. It is my favorite part. And what you need to do is just trim off this like tough outer part. And it's like, that's like, it reminds me of kind of an artichoke heart, like the heart of the artichoke. This is kind of the heart of the broccoli. And a lot of people will chop this off and throw it away. And it's absolutely brilliant. It usually never makes it into our dish because I eat it like as I'm cooking. So yes, raw. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So if you guys will, there's a green carafe, and that's got boiling water in it. It's hot. It's not boiling now, but it's got hot water. And we're gonna add that to our pot. Yeah, unscrew and be very careful, unscrew the lid and get that in your pot. Let me get a tissue. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Got it? All right. Thank you. You done? Brilliant. So we're gonna so your oven, your hobs should all be in the locked position. And so you're gonna turn your knob all the way to the red. You'll hear it click and turn on. You guys are good. You've got it on.
Did you see what I just did? Oh yeah. I turned it on. So if you come
Yeah, you want it on full whack. You want it on the red, and then put your lid on because that'll help to retain the heat
it'll go up.
as we boil. Let me see how much water you've got in there. That should be enough.
It's a little hard to get these nice and well.
Yeah. You good?
So put it to one knob and then
No.
keep it in the lock.
Yep. Turn it off. Hold on. Lock it. Yep.
And you want the lid on.
And the lid on. Yep, and the lid on. Now, while you are waiting for your water to come to a boil, which really shouldn't take very long because we're already starting with really hot water. So you can use the peeler or you can use your knife to peel that end. And then you're just gonna chop your broccoli into small bits and put those back in your bowl. Yeah. You know, we're gonna need a compost bowl for the table. John, would you grab a blue bowl under the cabinet there? Because what we want to do is put our chopped broccoli. Look at that, we're boiling already. Isn't that amazing? Wowzers. I'm just going to put us on hold for now. Yeah. I'm going to try. These are just All in all.
Yeah, they could use these phones.
Yeah, so put your broccoli in your bowl and then put your compost in that middle.
Like that.
Yeah.
Calgary would take much longer to boil water because it's 3,000 feet
That's
above
right.
sea level.
Of
Sea
course. Of course.
Will I have hens?
Up to you. That sounds good.
Well, I used to find
I
it.
can't believe how fast that water came up to a boil. John, would you maybe put some water in 2 or 3 more hot boiling water
Think about eating it. Yeah. From there if you want.
from the you can use that Phil, because we're probably gonna need some more.
I go eat it.
Excellent. Y'all are doing great. Y'all are doing really great. So, if you have your broccoli pretty close to chopped, you can go ahead and add your pasta. Add your pasta, and you're going to give it a stir. There we go. Add your pasta. Brilliant. Give it a stir. Yeah. Fantastic. Yes. Isn't it good? That is my favorite part. It's so good. Steve makes, we did the ranch dressing in one of the classes, didn't we? Yes.
We did the holiday hacks.
Holiday hacks. So Steve does a ranch dressing and, so you're boiling. So what I want you to do is, do you guys have something that you could put a timer on? A timer? Yeah. Okay. So what you need to do is just watch it for, can you just do 5 minutes? 5 minutes. Yep, 5 minutes. Yeah, so 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, you're going to add your broccoli. All right. Faith, you've got yours in? It's on this table right here. Yeah.
Yeah, did you put the hard bits in?
Did you guys give this a stir? Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. Remember, it's hot. You're doing great. Good. Don't be scared. Perfect. Perfect. And we're going to put this lid back on.
Let's do it.
Wait. No, that's okay. No, we're going to wait on that. We're going to put, you're going to put it in your bucket. Put it in your bucket.
So I'm going to watch the in the pot.
Not yet. Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to let our pasta get a head start. Yeah, we want to watch it. If it starts to bubble over, take that lid off. In fact, if it continues to boil this far, we'll leave that lid off. There we go. Yeah. Pull that lid off. It's about to boil over.
You got it open a little bit.
There we go. Yeah.
Right, 5 minutes, and that's starting now.
Good, good. You guys will be it's fun. I just want to make sure that we have plenty of water. And that's the key with boiling pasta is you don't want to have too much water because then you're taking up more energy to try to heat it when you don't really need it. So you really just want to cover your pasta by a couple of inches of water. So you guys are doing fine. Excellent. That is great. Teresa, you're doing a great job. That's okay. That is okay. We'll take some of this we'll take a container to Danny.
Yeah.
Poor guy, he's not feeling so good. He's not feeling well. Yeah.
Tell him that this dinner is a coach.
I will, definitely. Typically, most pasta boils in about 10 to 12 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're going to utilize the heat that we already have, and instead of doing 2 pots, we're just going to throw the broccoli in while the pasta's cooking. We'll bring it back up to a boil, let it finish cooking, and then there is going to be a great big pot over here. We'll have to do some organized chaos in draining our pasta. And so I was thinking that one person from each of your workstations can, when it's ready, can bring your, so we'll turn the heat off, you'll bring your pot and you'll strain it into that strainer there so that the water goes into the pot, and then the other person can bring the blue bowl and we'll take that and put it back into your blue bowl, okay? Then we'll move on to our bechamel. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of water to you guys. And this is super, super hot, so it shouldn't, it should come right back up to a boil.
We're going to put the pasta in the blue bowl with broccoli.
Yes.
This is quite wonderful. After 38 years of marriage, I'm standing here with my wife sitting down and I'm saying, don't forget to put it in the bowl. That's why I've done.
John, you better be careful. Brilliant. That is excellent. Who's got a 5-minute timer? You got, okay, that's 4 minutes for you guys. And the rest of you all kind of started at the same time, right? I think so. Brilliant. Okay. So, Libby, you and Colin can put your broccoli in. Be careful. You don't want it to splash, so you may want to stand. Yep, that's a good idea. Yep, just gently put it in there. There you go. Perfect. That's perfect. Excellent. Perfect. Good. Good, good, good. And give it a stir. Let's see how your water's doing. Nice. Very nice. And we're going to put our lid back on just to help it come back up to a boil. So when your broccoli goes in, give it a stir. Put your lid back on. Yeah. You can turn your fire up a little bit if you want to. Just going to make sure you guys have plenty of water. You're okay. Give it a stir, Teresa. I'm going to give you guys a little bit more water. There you go. You need more water. Could I get a couple more of those with hot water in it, please? Max, would you lift your lid for me? Thank you. That's perfect. I probably just need one more, Steve. Okay, so what we're doing, turn your heat up just a little bit to get it going. So you can see that broccoli instantly turned bright green. Love that. Beautiful.
Yes.
Excellent. Very nice. Yeah. And once that comes up to a boil, you can turn it down to a simmer.
Is it on the lid? Is it at the house?
Yes. That's a good question, Jill. And because we salted our water, so now our broccoli is also being salted. Yeah. Perfect, thank you. That's all I need, John.
Are you sure?
I think
Okay.
so. Yeah, because they're almost done. Teresa, will you lift your lid for me? I'm just gonna give you a little bit more water. So when you guys are cooking at home, you'll know the size of your pots. And again, you just need to make sure that it's covered with enough liquid. And you can always add extra liquid. I always keep the kettle going because it's just faster to get the water heated and then get it in the pot. Yeah. So we'll have a few more minutes of that. That's lovely. Now, if you were looking to blanch your broccoli, so this is a good thing to talk about real quick. So if you got, let's say you found yellow sticker broccoli and it was like, 6 pence of, a broccoli stalk, right? You get this great deal. You buy a bunch of it, you bring it home, cut it up, drop it in your boiling water, right? Boil it for just a couple of minutes and then put it in ice cold water. And what that does is it stops the cooking, but it cooks it just enough. Pack it in freezer bags and throw it in your freezer. That's how you want to freeze broccoli. It will cook better when you thaw it if you do it that way, if you blanch it first. It's the same with peas. You can freeze peas just fresh, but it's better if you blanch them and then stop the cooking by putting it in freezing cold water and then package it up and stick it in the freezer. So
You said if you buy a yellow sticker of broccoli, and I thought you said if you buy a yellow stick of broccoli, and I thought, I don't want a yellow stick of broccoli.
not a yellow stick. The yellow sticker, you know what I mean. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't want that even if it was a bargain.
Yeah. So yours is getting really close. Yeah. So usually what we would do is cook this for another 5 minutes, right? We're waiting on that.
I was going to go up, Tasha.
All right.
I'll just click it back forward.
Yeah. Oops.
There.
There. Yeah, perfect. Is it on? Good. Good. And what you can always do is you can always take a bit of broccoli out, give it a taste. You want it to be firm but not mushy, because we're not rebaking this. So I know this class was called Pasta Bakes, but really this is more of a one-pot pasta dish. And then at the end, what you do is you put your cheese on it and broil it to crisp up and brown the cheese on top. Also, this can be frozen.
Broil, they say grill.
Grill, under the grill, yeah, thank you. So you can freeze this as well. If you wanted to batch make this, you would do all of this part to the very end, package it in your freezer bags, or you can package it in these and wrap them up nice and tight and put your cheese on top and stick it in the freezer once it's cooled. So this makes a nice batch cook. So if you wanted to do that, you totally could. And then you'd have multiple meals. You can also put it in freezer bags, and then when you go to bake it, just pop your cheese on the top once it's thawed. Excellent. So I think most of you are probably about there. If you want to give your pasta a taste and just see if, give that a taste, and then taste your broccoli and see, what do you reckon? Okay. Okay. All right, so we're going to turn your fire off. What do you reckon, Libby? Perfect. So So Colin, one of you will take your pot, so your handles are nice and they're warm, but they're not super hot. Just don't touch the metal. And then Libby, you take the big bowl. Steve, will you help manage this? So you're just gonna pour it into the colander, and then you'll put the contents back in your blue bowl. How are you guys doing over here? Are you done?
Yes, this is real good.
Fantastic. All right, you can turn it off. Are you off? Yeah. Good. Are you there yet or no? You think so? Okay, you can turn your heat off. Okay, and just and put your pot back on your hob. What's wrong?
Was it last week the quote that we were using?
Yeah.
The handle could be on the corner.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I agree. Those are the frying pans that we have, isn't it? It was a frying pan. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That's not very nice.
It wasn't nice looking, but it was functional. I believe it's functional, not formal.
So it's right next to each other.
Oh, that's not a bad idea at all. I like that. Yeah. That's fantastic. It's a broccoli and pasta facial. Excellent. Okay. So once you have your pot back on your hob, you can take the lid off and put your butter in there. And we'll just wait until everybody is with us. But the butter can go ahead and start heating or start melting from the residual heat. But we'll wait until everybody catches up with us. Dot, you want me to grab your blue bowl for you?
Yes, please.
All right. You're quite welcome. Let me give this to you. Will you follow her back? Excellent.
Is that everything?
Good. Good, good, good. And Steve, when everybody is done, will you put the bake that I have in there in the oven? Take the lid off, put it in there. It's already on.
Put it back on.
Nope, just put your butter in. Yeah, we're gonna turn it on in just a minute, but I wanted to wait until everybody was all on the same page before we started. So this is the bechamel part. So I'm gonna tell you what we're gonna do first, and then we'll all do it together because it's a little tricky. It's not tricky, it's just there are things we need to pay attention to, that's all. I believe so. Yeah. Brilliant. So Teresa, if you'll just pop your butter in there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to turn our heat on low. Wait for a second, and I'm going to walk you through it, then we'll do it. So we're going to put the heat on low with our butter in. When our butter, let's wait until, give it 1 second, Teresa. Yeah.
Pay attention.
This is why we're walking through it first, and then we'll actually walk through it together. I'm going to tell you, and then we're going to do it. So we're going to put our butter in, which we've done. We're going to turn our hob on low. That is, so you'll turn it on, and then you'll put it in the yellow, but watch it, because some of these like to turn off. You know that. When the butter melts, we're going to gently melt this butter. Then we're going to add our flour. And we're going to mix that in. And what's going to happen is it's going to make this kind of like Play-Doh, kind of clay, clumpy paste, right? And we're just going to stir it. And we're going to do that for about a minute. And what we want to do is we want to cook that raw flour taste out. And so we're cooking, and basically you're making a roux. Okay, so it's butter and flour in equal parts, and we're going to cook that, and it's just going to be pasty. Then you have some milk at your workstation. You have 300 mils of milk. We're going to add that in 3 parts, but before we do that, once we've cooked the flour taste out, we don't want to put any color on our flour. We just want to cook it gently. Then we're going to turn our heat off. We're going to add a third of our milk, and we're going to stir that until it makes a thinner paste. Then we're going to add another third, and we're going to stir that until it makes an even thinner paste. Then we're going to add the final third and stir that until it's a creamy consistency. And we're doing this because we want to avoid lumps. So you always start with cold milk when we do this. So you've got cold milk on your workspace. And once we do that, then we'll turn our heat back on to low, and we'll cook it until it begins to bubble, and you'll watch it thicken. And at that point, we'll add our salt, and we'll add our mustard to that. Now, we're going to use whole grain mustard. If you were going to make a bechamel to use for your lasagna, for example, a white sauce for your lasagna, this is where you would add just a touch of Dijon mustard to it instead of the whole grain mustard. And you'd stir that in and stop. And that's with your salt. And that's your white sauce. That's your mother sauce. That's your bechamel. That's what you would use for lasagna. Now, if you wanted then to make macaroni cheese, you would have your cooked macaroni. You would add the Dijon. I always add Dijon. And then you would add a couple of handfuls of sharp cheddar to that. Stir that in, let that cheddar melt, add that to your pasta, sprinkle a little on top, bake it. It's all good. That's how I do mine. You can add whatever flavors you want. You could add peas, you could add a little bit of nutmeg. Some people like a little nutmeg in their white sauce. So you have options once you've reached this point where the white sauce is made. So then what we're doing for this recipe is we're adding whole grain mustard to it. So that's the flavoring that goes along with this. And then once that's incorporated and our sauce is thickened, we're going to add half of our cheese. The other half we're going to sprinkle on the top when it's done. So, okay, so everybody turn their hot. Are we clear? Yep, sorry.
2 questions.
Yes.
First, how do you spell roux?
R-O-U-X.
Just in case somebody, in case you see that word, R-O-U-X.
R-O-U-X.
Second is, should this be cooked?
No.
That's what I thought.
Thank you, Steve.
Do you use vegetable sauce in America for lasagna?
No.
No, we do. Cottage cheese.
Right, or ricotta.
Yeah, cottage cheese and an egg and
Yes.
parmesan cheese
Yep.
and parsley.
Yes.
My son can't stand the lasagna over here.
I love it with a white sauce. In fact, we had lasagna pasta on
So hard.
the menu a couple of weeks ago for Common Ground, and I did my normal red sauce. Yeah, go ahead. And then I added that bechamel, just kind of swirled it in. Oh, it was divine. It was so good. Add your flour all in one go. All in one go. Add your flour. Once your butter is melted, make sure it's on low. Very, very low. Yep, keep stirring. You want it to be a nice thick paste. I'm going to turn your hob down. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, y'all doing great. Good job. Nice, very nice. So we're letting that go for about 1 minute. Yeah. You can make a roux with other fats. But it's always equal parts of your fat and your flour. Always. Okay, your heat's a little hot. Yeah, you're way hot. Start it, yeah, there you go, and take it down. There you go. There you go. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah. Go ahead and turn your heat off, Teresa. Yeah, okay, at this point, your heat's really, okay, there you go. Go ahead and turn your heat off, and we're gonna add 1/3 of your milk. Turn your heat off, and add 1/3 of your milk, and be careful, don't splash yourself, but stir, 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 stir. Stir, stir, stir. You want to incorporate that milk. Be sure and scrape the sides to get all of that roux incorporated into your milk. You're doing good, yep. And it's going to make a thinner paste. That's good, Libby. Just keep going. You want to work out all those lumps before you go to the next. Before you go to the next step, yeah. Scrape those sides down, Susan, and Faith. Good job. You want to work those lumps out. Yeah, stir, stir, stir.
Work those lumps out.
Oh, see, that was beautiful. That was beautiful, Libby. Yeah, and kind of smash those lumps if you see them. You're going to work those lumps out. Keep going and going. You're doing great. Yeah. Yeah. Good job. All right. And when you have mashed out all the lumps and you've got a thin, a thinner paste, nice thin paste, add another 1/3. Libby, you're ready. Keep going. Good, good. Yeah. Now, if you have a whisk at home, it would be good to then, once you've got some of the milk incorporated, you could switch to a whisk if you wanted to. But it's important to learn to do it with a spoon, and y'all are doing that. Right. Yeah, you're doing great.
That's not a long one.
It's off. It's always, yeah. Y'all are doing a good job. It'll wear your arm out, but build muscles. Yeah. You're going to want to give it a brisk. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Let me show you, Colin. So what you want to do is kind of draw circles. So see how I've got my finger at the pressure? So draw circles on the bottom of the pot like that. Okay? There you go. Little circles. How are we doing? Doing okay? Good. Yeah. You're getting there. You're getting there. Drawing little circles on the bottom of the pot. Yeah. Good job, Faith. Good job, Faith. Okay. Oh, that looks beautiful, Teresa. That's beautiful. So go ahead and add your last bit. I would go ahead and, yeah, because the heat, when we turn the heat on, it'll help to incorporate the rest of it. Yeah. That looks really good. Yeah, draw little circles. Draw little circles. Nice job. Okay. Yeah. scrape that little bit right there that's stuck to the pot. Yeah, scrape that and incorporate that in. Now, once you have a smooth sauce, you're going to turn your heat back on low as you can get it. You may want to lift your pot up and just watch that heat as low as it'll go. That's good. Yep, there you go. And keep stirring, because as this heats up, the flour will then begin to thicken your sauce as it cooks. Yeah, there, perfect, nice. That's good. Yeah, that's really good.
I know.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's how the flour started to burn.
Yeah,
Yeah. These stoves are a little hard to get nice and low.
they are.
No, it jumped up again.
Just.
Mm.
Put it lower than that, it goes in.
That's okay. Go ahead and pop it on, and if you need to, just adjust the heat manually. Yeah, Mags can be your heat control. Yeah. Stir, stir, stir. Don't splash, but stir. Again, making circles on the bottom of the pot, because the flour will kind of sit at the bottom. So you want to just keep incorporating that flour into your sauce. And as it begins to heat up and bubble,
Lippy's younger than me.
you'll see it start to thicken. You're doing great. You are. You're doing great. Oh, that's lovely. That's really nice. Yeah. Do you see it? See it start to thicken? Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and add our salt. Go ahead and add our salt. Yeah. That is lovely. Beautiful. Yeah, turn your heat down just a touch. Yeah,
After that baked in the oven, so
excellent. Good. All right, good. Libby, you and Colin can turn your heat off.
you can name it.
Alright. Now, what I want you to do is add a tablespoon of whole grain mustard. It's right here. You can go ahead and add half your cheese to that. Half your cheese.
You'll know when it does.
I'll bring you some fries.
Lift up your spoon.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Let this come up to a bubble. You need to be bubbling. You can turn your heat up.
That's what I thought. I knew that this would tell.
Oh, okay, good.
Is that a tablespoon?
That is a tablespoon. Yeah.
Do we have that in just now?
Yep.
Yep.
Go ahead and add it in.
See how
That's
you're
beautiful.
starting to get there now that it's heating up.
Beautiful.
Yeah, let's get a little bit thicker.
John, would you get me some teaspoons just so that they can have a little taste? Yeah, thank you, Faye. That's beautiful. Go ahead and add, are you bubbling? Just a touch, just a touch. There you go, there you go. All right, give that about 30 seconds and then add half your cheese and turn your heat off. A tablespoon, that's your big one. Yeah, scrape your sides. That is good, that's good. Did you add your salt?
Yeah, I did the salt.
All right. Yeah, just a tablespoon, not a rounded tablespoon, just a tablespoon. All right. Your heat is off?
Yes.
All right, then you can stop and give it a taste. Just a taste.
And then cover the
Half the cheese. Yeah, half your cheese. You like it? Now, tasting that, do you see how you could turn that into all different kinds of things? You know, you could add, this dish would be great with blue cheese. If you add it, because blue cheese and broccoli go really nice together, Stilton and broccoli. So now what you're gonna do at this point is I think with these smaller pots, no, let's add all that in there and just gently fold it in. Let's see how that goes.
You added your cheese.
That's all right.
Add half of your cheese.
And gently fold that in. Teresa, that's beautiful. How are you guys doing over here? Did you taste it? You like it? Excellent. So add this into here. Your fire is off?
It's all.
Yes? Yeah?
She needs to turn her fire off.
Yeah, turn your fire off. Perfect. And then once that cheese is incorporated, you're going to fold this into that. And just from the bottom, we're going to kind of do this motion. We're going to do this. We're going to just fold it in. Once you get it in there, fold it from the bottom to the top. Fold it in.
Hey, how much you want to put in?
Excellent. That is beautiful. That is beautiful.
That's good.
Yes.
Probably remember the fellow night.
And remember, you guys can modify this recipe in so many ways.
You doing it? Why you got pilot ready?
Okay.
I don't want to be six. It's the same. That's actually pilot first.
But somebody did say that to us, and I said, next time I drop a beer with the wagon, be careful.
Oh, you like what's up? Oh, there you go.
Now at this point, you're done. What you'll do is you'll spoon that in. And here's the thing: if you don't want to broil it, if you don't want to put it under and grill it, you don't have to. You can just put this in your bowl, sprinkle a little cheese on top, and eat it. You could totally add some cooked chicken to it. Yeah. Sausage would be really good. Yes, bacon would be great in it. Absolutely. And so what you're going to end up with, normally I'll modify the recipe so that it fits the containers to go home, but I didn't do that with this one. So you're going to actually get one of these each and one of these each. So that's, so what you'll probably, let's see, I think I've got enough to. What we might need to do is move your cheese into a different vessel. But let's work it out. Well, it'll be fine. So, one each of these and one each of these. Yes, so you'll use the one that your pasta was in originally. You guys will probably end up with just 3 of those. Yeah. And we're just gonna spoon some cheese on that and we're gonna let people taste it. So if you would get us some plates, small plates, and is this pasta in here pretty much warmed through and hot? Okay. So what we can do is we'll bring that out and maybe put a towel and dip some of that as well. And then we'll dip. I will. Yeah, we'll bring it. Yeah, you can bring it out and show folks. Okay, you got to. Are we good? So, as far as tasting, what we'll do is hold and when we dish it out, we'll sprinkle a little bit on top. You may be able to fit it. No, I don't think you can fit it 2. I think it's going to take 3. Be careful, that's going to be hot. Now, once you guys get them all packaged up, Jillian has made our tasting dish. And so, woo-hoo! Good job, Jillian. You did so good. And so what we also have to taste today is the version that I was talking about at the beginning of the class with the peppers and the onions and the black beans and the cheddar cheese, the orange cheese. So I also used a different pasta. If you guys want to take a look, it's lovely. Yeah. So we'll also taste that as well. There's a little bit of chili powder in it, a little bit of cumin.
Oh, wow. That's just...
You know, just a pretty big, you know.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant. Y'all did great today. So I know that y'all are thinking, so what are you thinking that you could do with this recipe? What are some thoughts on even modifying it to,
Definitely.
yes,
Definitely.
definitely
That's the thing
bacon,
that always fails.
lasagna, yes,
I used to make this in Canada with tuna, canned tuna.
yeah. Yum, tuna would be great in that, yeah.
Canned tuna.
Maybe a little sweet corn.
Yeah.
Sweet corn, salmon.
Ooh, sweet corn and salmon. Yes, definitely garden peas.
Just some of this as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just make this in a big cup. So you can bring that over there.
That'd be great.
It was really cheap, but it was, you know, just $6.
Do you need a
So does,
big spoon?
just one of these things, or do you need bigger?
You know,
Chili powder. And it's the
so if anybody needs a
and it's just a, it's
napkin,
different ingredients then.
what do you guys reckon?
I know it smells amazing.
I didn't taste it, so it could need some salt and pepper. What do you think? Is it all right? Good, good. So I've got lids for those.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and again, please help yourself. There's tea and coffee. There's juice. We can bring out some water as well.